What's up, everybody? I am Sniggenhoff. Welcome back, where I am El Pollo. That's the chicken. We're playing Castile, and I am too afraid to go attack England, just like I was too afraid to go attack France. In the last episode, we won a war against France. Burgundy took a lot of land and then gave land that I wanted to my rival. And I thought about attacking them for it, and then I decided against it, although I may change my mind in this episode. We also started our first colony down over here on the Horn. Is this the Horn of Africa? Or is the Horn of Africa down around the Cape? Or is that the Cape? And is this the Horn? Or is the little elbow the Horn? I'm not sure. On the nose of Africa out over here, we started our first colony. And we're still thinking about attacking England, but I'm scared. I'm so scared. We could probably win the war, but I also don't want to lose the war and lose all the gains that I've made, all the mad gains that I have made in the years leading up to it. What do we do? How close are we to our manpower cap? Still a ways away. We can train one more troop, which we will do. Pretty soon here, I'm going to start building like actual armies that are consistent of like 12 infantry, 4 cavalry, and 6 cannons or something like that. That's kind of formation I like in the early game. But until then, we're just going to kind of keep building infantry because they're cheap. And we're also going to build these shipyards so we can have more ships, because ships are good. Speaking of, can I build any more right now? I can. Let's go ahead and build us up to our force limit. Portugal wants to get married. I say yes. I maybe shouldn't have done that, because if I attack England, I lose this alliance. That would have been a good time to drop the alliance. Successful embassy. Our ambassadors are very good at spreading a favorable opinion of Castile in foreign courts. The fact that we are at peace certainly helps us matter. Tell them sweet little lies. We gain 5 prestige, and Aragon likes us more. With them sweet little lies. We're about to drop below 50 power projection, which isn't great. Can I insult someone? I might be able to. We got 100 more population in Arguin, which is great. And I'm going to insult England real quick. I'm going to tell them, come at me, Broseph. Hey, stay above 50 for a little bit longer. What else are we going to do? If we finish up diplomatic ideas, we will be able to break royal marriages without taking a stab hit, I'm pretty sure. So that'd be nice. Also, this next one is really good. We really need to finish up this idea group. Can we change our focus yet? 1500. November of 29th of November, 1500. So soon we'll be able to do that. Also very soon, colonialism should spawn. But first we have this event, Anti-Clericalism. The burghers of several prominent cities were accusing the clergy of being greedy and indolent. The pious commoners are now withholding the tithe in a protest against a particularly bad example of misuse of the authority of the clergy. Pious burghers are now objecting to paying tithes to the clergy as they consider the clergy unfit to receive them. The clergy are furious and demand that we find the obstinate burghers. That was full of like $5 words right in there. So we either force them to pay, we gain ducats, we lose autonomy in Sevilla, which is good. The clergy gains loyalty and the burghers lose loyalty. The clergy gains influence and the burghers lose influence. Or we can say a reprimand will be enough where the clergy loses loyalty and influence. So we don't need the ducats per se, and I think even if we take the autonomy drop in Sevilla, I don't think it's going to go down past 25%. I think it's still going to stay at that floor. Clergy gaining loyalty is fine. Burghers losing loyalty isn't great. I think I'd rather have the clergy lose the loyalty and the influence than the burghers. And I don't really need the ducats or the autonomy drop. So I'm going to take this. Maybe wrong, but we're going for it. It'll also put us closer for them being back up to 40, whereas these guys would have dropped down to 15 minus 43, which is a number. They would have dropped down to that number. We can't fabricate a claim on that province. We don't really need this spy anymore. So another thing we could do is we could form an alliance with someone that would help us attack England, preferably one of these guys. Also, like, they're in turmoil right now, so if we ever get to the point where we start allying these guys, we may be able to get it pretty easily. Like, right now, even Brandenburg, it just flipped. Brandenburg's going to lose the election to... No, Brandenburg's going to win it because of the tie. So, yeah. We may be able to get some of these guys to flip, but none of those guys will really help us in a war against England, so we can wait. We will go back, and we're just going to do another run of improving relations with all these guys. Scandal at the court. Sometimes a scandal would erupt in the royal court and upset... we've had this happen before. We can either take the blame and move on, lose one stability, or gain corruption and lose ducats. And I think last time I gained the corruption and lost the ducats, and that's what I'm going to do again. No, last time I didn't have the money and I didn't want to take the loan. But this time, I'm going to just do that. I'm at negative right now, but I should make enough to where I don't take out a loan. Yeah. Nope, we did take out a loan. Dang it. Loans work a lot like loans in real life. The loan we took is we have to pay back more than we ended up taking. Interest doesn't really tick up. They kind of just like charge you the interest immediately, almost. It's the 4% interest is added on to if you let the loan run its full time to 1505 here, and then at 1505 you can either repay the loan or you can extend it, which will add more interest onto it, making it more and more expensive to pay off. So essentially by taking this loan, we lost 30 ducats out of the deal. And even if we repay this early, we don't get the interest back that we would have had, that wouldn't have ticked up because we didn't let the loan run its full course, if that makes sense. You can go bankrupt. For me, it takes 51 bank loans. So on the 52nd bank loan, we go bankrupt. We lose all our monarch points. We lose all our advisors. Our armies suck, and things are bad. You can still survive through a bankruptcy, but generally, it's not something you want to go out and search out. Anyway, let's keep going. It's the year 1500 now, so the colonialism institution can spawn, which it can spawn in our country if the year's at least 1500. Toledo, which is our capital, is either in Europe, Asia, or Africa. It's in Europe. It can't spawn in our capital because there's no port in Toledo. But I've seen it spawn in Sevilla before, so I'm not sure how that... if it's just showing us the capital or if it's showing us for our whole country. Toledo is not an island. It's in a state. Has one of the modifiers, coastal center of trade. It's in our capital area. And then for the province owner, which would be us, we have to have at least one province in either North America, South America, or the New World, or a New World continent, because you can do a random New World that's not that doesn't have North and South America. It has randomly generated continents. So you have to have provinces over on the other continents. Also, now we can see the western coast of Africa, which is better for colonization. Once the colonist finishes up here, we'll probably send him down here to start colonizing. Because even though we haven't taken exploration ideas, it's just free territory that we can get. And if we do it right, you can make a lot of money off colonization, so there's no reason not to do it if we've got the means to do it. Still 5 years ahead on admin tech, so we need to wait on that. Gonna wait to pay off our loan, so we don't want to spend any money. And our corruption is almost ticked back down. We'll start making a lot more money after our corruption ticks back down. I'm still going to be a chicken and not attack England unless Burgundy decides they want to help me. And I'll check and see. Likely they don't. Nope. They like our enemies too much, which is bullcrap. A lot of times Burgundy will rival England, but not this time. Burgundy's rivaled to France, Austria, and Venice, and Savoy. We also lost a rival, but we can't... Oh no, France doesn't view us as a rival, but we still view France as a rival. Gotcha. Sure, take the spy network strength guy. Done improving relations there. Will improve with Venice. And we'll improve with Saxony. If we were further along in the game, we could do things to England with spy interactions, like where is it? So discontent? No. There's one that lets you. It might be unique to the espionage ideas, but you can discredit their diplomats essentially to give them negative diplomatic reputation, so that countries will like them less. I'm also at the admin cap again. Gotta keep doing this little dance, but it's almost done. We're almost there. What else? We're just going to keep improving with people, especially electors in the HRE. I've improved them recently. And hopefully very soon, well, not very soon. I don't want Isabel to die like super soon, but like when she does die, hopefully we'll be able to get the election lined up in our favor to become the emperor and finish the achievement. And once again, Germany is burning. There's a lot of wars going on here. Bohemia is at war with Palatinate, Ulm, Wurzburg, Nassau, and Frankfurt. And on the other side is just Bavaria and Bohemia. So these guys are at war with like all of this. Let's see. It looks worse than it sounded, because a lot of those are like little one province guys. But it's kind of interesting about the Holy Roman Empire is like they're supposed to kind of be one big political entity, especially if anyone from the outside attacks them, the emperor will come to their defense essentially. But then there's a lot of infighting inside of the Holy Roman Empire, and the Protestant Reformation has spawned in Ragusa of all places. So historically, Protestant Reformation spawned in Germany. This time it spawned down over here in, would it be Serbia? It's more Croatia, isn't it? Yeah, Croatia. Kind of a strange place for it to spawn, but interesting. Also interesting in the fact that it's not in the Holy Roman Empire. And one of the things that can happen later on is the Holy Roman Empire will go to, they'll have a religious war. It's supposed to be the game equivalent of the historical 30 Years' War. I do have enough money to repay my loan. And it throws the Holy Roman Empire into turmoil, but the first Protestants aren't going to be even in the Holy Roman Empire. They're going to be down over here near the Ottomans and in Hungary. So that's going to be strange. Also, once the Reformation is spawned, countries can then convert to Protestant. And if they do, like I could convert to Protestant right now. I'm not going to because Spain gets bonuses for being Catholic. But if they do, they spawn one of these centers of Reformation, which will convert provinces around it automatically. So instead of having to spend missionaries to convert provinces, you get to spawn one of these centers of Reformation that will convert your provinces and convert them very swiftly for you. So if you're in a game and you want to go Protestant, you want to do it like as soon as the Protestant Reformation spawns. You don't want to be behind the 8 ball. We'll go ahead and improve with Sweden. But it could be very interesting if like the Protestant Reformation doesn't really do anything in the Holy Roman Empire and they don't get thrown into religious chaos. Still 3 years ahead on this. Still waiting on colonialism to spawn. Maybe Portugal hasn't put a colony in the New World. That's why it's not spawning. I don't know. Maybe I've messed some things up. I've thrown a wrench in the gears by not colonizing. One of our dudes has died. Just take morale of armies guy. That seems fine. Naval tradition scorned. Lately, our focus has been primarily army-oriented. Perhaps we shouldn't overlook the possibility of a strong navy and invest more time into naval research. This is good. Lands where it's at. We lose navy tradition, gain army tradition, which is good. Or we can lose 5 navy tradition. I'm gonna take this one. Army tradition is like vastly superior to navy tradition. I also have more troops than I have room for, so I need to disband some. Didn't realize. Why didn't you guys tell me? Rigorous researchers again. We get 40 of each. Go ahead and consolidate. That may have consolidated out 1. You can go. You guys go ahead and consolidate. Not sure how I lost those 2. I thought I was at the cap, but whatever. We are almost at our manpower cap, finally. We've recovered. We can take province war score cost minus 20, so that's very, very nice. And then lower diplomatic tech cost is also very nice. Chugging along nicely here. I keep using the word nice. Anyway, I'm also like a full tech behind on Diplotech because I'm trying to finish up this idea group. Let's improve with Austria. There is a province in between those 2. We've dropped below the 50 threshold, so we're not getting the extra monarch point a month right now. I could get it by going to war with England, but again, I'm just so scared. So, we're getting there. We're going places. If I could just convince Burgundy to join the war with me, I would do it. But they're all like, "No, England's super cool." And I'm like, "You get Calais. I'd totally give you Calais and Co. You get like 2 provinces out of it. Expand your reach to the stars above." Burgundy is also at war right now with a lot of people. They attacked the Holy Roman Empire. They have an heir right now, but that doesn't mean that the Burgundian inheritance can't fire. There is a chance. It's a better chance if they're losing the war. So I'm kind of rooting against Burgundy in this sense, especially because they won't help me in my war. I'm still tempted to do this too. Can I get a general from these guys right now? I can. Let me see if this general's any good. That's not the button. That general's incredible. 5 shock general. The best you can get is 6 shock. Alright, time to man up. We're doing it, boys. Bring the army maintenance to full. So the idea is we're going to crush Portugal first, and then turn our attentions to Britain. And hopefully they're too slow in getting they're gonna be too slow in getting troops over here to really stop us from doing anything. This is gonna be risky. It's probably a bad idea. But if we're about one thing here, it is bad ideas. So once our troops have fully recovered their morale, I'm also going to think about taking this tech early, especially if they don't have it. They're on 8 and they're on 9, especially if they do have it. It's early, so we're paying a premium on it, but I don't want to be behind Britain on this military tech, and I want to equip the new unit types now, as opposed to waiting. So I'm probably... It's all about the pips here, right? So I want the one of the two that has the 2 shock pips, because we've got a really good shock general. We want to do extra shock damage. The question is, do I want the one who has a defensive shock pip, so we take less damage in the shock phase, or do I want the one that has who has 2 morale pips over here? I'm really not sure. I think I'm gonna take this one. I'm just gonna be aggressive. Maybe the wrong call once again, but we're gonna do it. And now I have to wait a little bit longer for that to happen, but I'd rather improve them now and have to do this now than wait. Also, my plan is I'm going to use this 20 stack. I'm going to come in here, smash Portugal, then I'm going to use the 16 stack to siege Portugal up completely and take this 20 stack up over here, is the plan. Our admiral just died, which is fine. We are going to be keeping our navy in the dock for this war. England and Portugal together are definitely going to have a better navy than I do. Has England picked up any new allies? No, just Portugal and Gelre. And then they've got some vassals. Hopefully one of them is not Scotland. No, one of them is not Scotland. They're bringing troops somewhere. I'm rooting for Burgundy to lose this war. And we are going to make some bad decisions. Burgundy won't join because they're fighting in another war. Portugal won't join either. Ooh. Ooh, so we don't have to worry about Portugal? Sweet action. That makes things a little bit easier. I was going to use this to break up with Portugal, but not having to fight Portugal makes things a little bit easier. So, declare. Sweet. So we're now at war with Britain. Hopefully we don't lose. I don't think we're going to. We have, on our side, many more men. They do have, like, Gelre, which is a tiny little nation over here. It's just not going to swing the war in their favor all that much. So hopefully we'll be able to take them down. But that's going to have to wait until the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me. For joining me. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like it or subscribe to the channel so you know when I post new videos. And leave a comment down below. Tell me about how I definitely shouldn't have waited this long to attack England and not been such a little baby man. Anyways, until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later.